Puss in Boots. A big shout out to Kelly for requesting today's story. Once upon a time, at the edge of a little village, there lived an old miller and his 3 sons. He was a poor man, and all he owned were a mill, a donkey, and a cat.
My sons, time has come for me to leave this world behind. I am a poor man without much to leave you.
For my eldest son, I leave my little mill. For my second son, I leave my donkey.
For you, my youngest son, I leave the family cat.
When he died, each son inherited what the father left them. The eldest son inherited the mill. The second son inherited the donkey. The youngest received only the family's cat.
My brothers may earn their bread with the mill and the donkey, but as for me, once I have eaten this cat and made a muff from his fur, I shall surely starve.
Do not be troubled, master. If you will give me but a pair of boots and a sack, you shall see that I am worth more than my weight in gold.
The young man, though doubtful, had seen enough of the cat's cleverness to humor him. He bought him the boots and a sack, and so began the adventures of Puss in Boots. Puss pulled on his fine boots, slung the sack over his shoulder, and set off to the forest. He filled the sack with bran and lettuce, then stretched himself out as though dead. Before long, a plump rabbit hopped into the bag. Puss sprang up, tied the sack, and went straight to the palace.
Your Majesty, I bring you a fine rabbit, caught in the fields of my noble master, the Marquis of Carabas. Thank your master for his generosity. Tell him I am much obliged.
Puss repeated this trick for many days, catching partridges and rabbits, always presenting them to the king in the name of the Marquis of Carabas, a title Puss had invented for his poor master. Puss soon carried favor with the king, and he became a frequent visitor in the palace, always coming in and out as much as he wanted. One summer morning, as Puss was having tea in the palace kitchen, he overheard 2 guards speaking.
Good morning, Henry.
Did you hear? The king takes the princess for a carriage ride along the lake this afternoon.
Puss ran back home to his master, the Marquis of Carabas.
Sir, if you follow my advice, your fortune is made. Go and bathe in the river, and leave the rest to me.
The young man obeyed. As he splashed in the water, the king's carriage passed.
Help! Help! My master, the Marquis of Carabas, is drowning! Halt!
The king stopped at once. Recognizing Puss, who often brought him gifts, he ordered his guards to rescue the poor man.
Alas! Thieves have stolen his clothes while he swam!
The king, generous and eager to help, ordered a splendid suit to be brought for the Marquis. Dressed as a nobleman, the miller's son looked so handsome that the princess could not help but glance at him with admiration. Meanwhile, Puss raced ahead of the royal carriage. He came upon peasants gathering hay.
Good people, if the king should ask to whom these fields belong, answer this. They belong to my master, the Marquis of Carabas. Fail, and you shall be chopped into mincemeat.
Frightened, they agreed. When the king's carriage rolled by, he called out,
My loyal county men, whose meadows are these, filled with such fine hay? All these fields belong to the Marquis of Carabas, sir. My goodness, Marquis, what splendid fields of hay! You must be a very wealthy man.
Next, Puss came upon a group of peasants harvesting wheat.
People, if the king should ask to whom these golden fields of wheat belong, answer this. They belong to my master, the Marquis of Carabas. Fail, and you shall be chopped into mincemeat.
When the king's carriage rolled by, he called out,
My loyal county men, whose harvest is this of such fine wheat? All these fields of wheat belong to the Marquis of Carabas, sire.
The king was now beaming with pride. Again, Puss raced ahead. He came upon shepherds tending a huge flock of sheep.
Good people, if the king should ask to whom these flock of sheep belong, answer this. They belong to my master, the Marquis of Carabas. Fail, and you shall be chopped into mincemeat.
Frightened, they agreed. When the king's carriage rolled by, he called out,
My loyal county men, whose flock is this of such fat sheep?
They belong to the Marquis of Carabas, sire.
Such fine sheep, Marquis.
Puss repeated this trick with reapers gathering corn and every person he met along the way. Each time, the workers gave the same answer, for they dared not oppose the fearsome, booted cat. At last, Puss reached a grand and gloomy castle. This was the home of a powerful ogre who truly owned all the lands the cat had claimed for his master. Boldly, Puss strode to the gate.
So, what do you want, little creature? My Lord Ogre, I have heard much of your great power. It is said you can change yourself into any beast you please. A lion, perhaps, or an elephant. It is true, little puss. Watch and tremble.
At once, he became a roaring lion. Puss darted away in terror, hiding under a table. After a moment, he crept back.
Magnificent, my lord. But surely you cannot make yourself small, say, into a mere mouse?
Curve. Observe.
In an instant, The ogre shrank into a tiny mouse that scurried across the floor. With one swift leap, Puss pounced, snap, and ate him up. When the king's carriage reached the castle gates, Puss ran out to meet it.
Welcome, sire, to the castle of the Marquis of Carabas.
The king, astonished at such wealth, walked inside with the princess and found halls laid with gold, servants bowing low, and a feast ready on the tables. During the meal, the king spoke warmly.
My dear Marquis, it would delight me to call you son-in-law.
The young man blushed, but the princess's eyes sparkled.
Here is to our newfound friendship and alliance.
Soon after, they were married.
I do.
I do. I hereby pronounce you man and wife.
As for Puss, he was raised to great honor. He chased mice only for sport and spent his days in comfort, as a nobleman's companion. And thus ends the first adventure of Puss in Boots.